first car memory was sitting on my dad's lap, steering his 1956 Chevrolet. It felt awesome. It was really exciting. I could make the car go where I wanted. I'm thinking I was probably, 7, 8 years old. I really like the products I sell. I sell Honda products and I love Honda products, and probably the favorite car I have is the NSX sitting in the prostate cancer booth. And I really like white cars, but that red looks awfully good on the NSX. I got into the car business, I was actually going to get into life insurance. I wrote all the tests I needed to write, went through all the interviews, they said you're hired, and I just couldn't do it. When an insurance salesman goes in the room, everybody goes to the other corner, but with cars it's different. People like to talk about cars and women, and so, if I go into a room, people want to talk to me about vehicles and different cars, so it's really exciting. I think people still have a passion for vehicles. You go down to the Devil 16 at night and see how much passion there is for a vehicle when they fire it up. One thing's certain, our industry is changing faster than it ever has before. I know Honda and Toyota are going into hybrids, and they're working heavily with hydrogen. And that could be a valuable choice in the future. Like, we don't know right now, nobody knows. I know we have to work collaboratively with our manufacturers to help them to make good choices for the future and to help them get into the future. So I would say just get into it first and do something you have a passion for. Like, don't just get into the industry to get into the industry. Get into it because you have a passion for cars or vehicles or horsepower or something. And then work really hard, put in extra hours, and be a good example of a good employee, and you'll move up. Set goals and keep going after them, and you'll move up in the industry, no question. So I've been to auto shows all around the world, and I've spoken to people who travel around to the auto show circuit, and our show ranks right up there with the top 3 or 4 auto shows in the world, there's no question. We're one of the few shows that has every manufacturer represented here that retails cars in Canada. Well, the dealership was prosperous, but it was in a dive of a building. It looked like an aircraft hangar. It had a round roof and it had an interlocking brick floor. When it rained, we had, off my office was a cupboard, and we had a golf umbrella over the computer system, because when it rained, it would rain into that area. So that's where I came from. And then part of the deal was that we would build a new facility within a few years. Well, I think even in 2 years, but we ended up hitting some recessions and things like that Honda said just hold off for now. So we ended up getting around 4 years out of that dealership. Then we moved to a new facility, which we bought land and built, and that's how it went. I was the 9th employee at the dealership, and today we employ approximately 24 people. We're very involved in our community. I'm involved in the local Committee of Adjustments for Property Standards, and I've been on that committee for a long time. Our dealership has sponsored the local arena for naming rights. It's called the Hanover Honda Arena, and it all comes back to us. We're looking right now at building a little dealership in the Children's Safety Village just south of town. So there's lots of ways you can start. I really believe it's an industry with a whole lot of opportunities. You can start as a detailer, and I know people that start as detailers end up owning dealerships down the road. Now it's getting more difficult, but you can still do it, and there's so many jobs in our industry that nobody knows about. Like, everybody thinks you have to be a salesperson or a technician, and there's IT jobs, there's social media jobs, there's reception jobs, accounting jobs, and with the dealer groups getting bigger and bigger, there's VP of finance jobs and all kinds of things like that. So VP of sales, it's a unlimited opportunity in our industry. So for dealerships to survive, we need to provide a superior customer experience, and that's what it's all about. And if we don't do that, then we shouldn't even be here. So for us to survive, which we will, we need to look after our customers, give them a great experience, and make them want to come back. Like, nobody wants to buy a car, put it this way, very few people want to buy a car by pushing a button on the internet. They want to feel it, smell it, touch it, sit in it, get a brochure on it, go home and think about it and dream about it a little bit. Come to the auto show and look at all kinds of cars, and then actually pull the trigger in the dealership after a test drive. Well, my kids are involved, and they're pretty well running the dealership now, but I asked them that question too, because I'm willing to step back even a little more. They said, no, Dad, we want you around. And then my son, who's our general manager, says, Dad, when you decide to step back, your last job's going to be HR because you're good at it. I remember being those kids. I really do. I was in auto mechanics class, and I didn't want to be an auto mechanic, but I don't even want to tell you the reason I got into that class. But it ended earlier than the electronics class that I was in, so I switched. I didn't want to be a mechanic, but I love cars, and I wanted to be in the car business. So I just thought of myself, many years ago I was in that position that those kids are in, and today I'm president of the auto show, and so if I can do it, anybody can do it.